Oh, there we go.
نرحب بضيوفنا النهارده. وعلى فكرة بكرة هيبقى فيه تكريم في الختام كمان بالشخصية دي، وأنا مش عايز أحرق اللي هيحصل بكرة، بس خلينا النهارده نستمتع بالحديث معاهم. الأول خليني أقدم Mr. Lawrence Bender. Please come on stage. And Mr. هانى وأسعد. You're both welcome. Thank you so much. هنشوف فيديو قصير بس الأول قبل ما نبدأ الحوار. So we're gonna just watch a small video and then let you guys get on with it.
In peace, sons bury their fathers. No more fathers bury their sons.
The audience too for this loss, and
Thank you.
let's start with your youth.
I mean, I'm not young now. Here we go. He said it's gonna be controversial.
Okay. Let's start when you was young, when you was like a boy, little boy. You was born in
I was born in the Bronx.
the Bronx.
New York.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, how was it when you like?
I mean, when I was born in the Bronx, it was called the Grand Concourse, and it was a very nice area. It was a very Jewish area, but as a little boy, things started transitioning pretty bad, and all these kind of areas where there were kind of trees and courtyards became places for people to mug you. So we moved out. We moved to South Jersey.
Yeah. So you moved and you didn't like it in the beginning.
Well, we lived in very kind of white middle class, anti-Semitic area that is kind of a little boring.
Anti-Semitic. It's very sensitive issue. How you experience anti-Semitism? Like, how old was you when you the first time realized, they are discriminating me because I'm Jewish? When was that?
Well, when I was in high school, I mean, I can't really complain too bad. It wasn't like I was afraid for my life, but my friends would push me around. They would say they liked me as a Jew, even though I was Jewish. They liked me. They called me names that were not particularly nice for Jewish people. I get shoved in the lockers in high school and pushed around, and there's a big Polish guy who we were friends. We used to push me around because I was Jewish. I got beat up once in a while, but nothing like that was I can really complain about in terms of other people. But I was definitely aware of it. There's certain things I did I wouldn't want to do right now in front of you that was not very nice.
What was it?
It's just not nice. But the funny thing is, years later, a friend of mine called me up. I think I was like about 40 at the time, and he had become a born-again Christian. And he calls me up, and I hadn't spoken to him in a couple of decades. And he said, "Lawrence, I want to call you and apologize because I realize now, because he's born-again Christian, has a very different way of thinking." And so he said, I realize now that you're part of the chosen people, and that we are pushing you around and tormenting you, and I really want to apologize.
So he's apologizing not because he harmed you, because he harmed God, yes?
Because he thought I was now part of the chosen people. Now he was apologizing to one of the chosen people. It was just really sad.
Yeah, sad.
It's just,
don't you think that this, let's say, bullying you because you was a Jew helped you in becoming better than anyone else?
Well, I mean, you wouldn't want to say I was
Like in your job, let's be honest, you know, you are a huge success in our field, yes? So helped you in a way, like you want to prove yourself that you are, well, like...
I don't think it came from that, but a lot of the things that I do that are, like I like making all different kinds of movies. Obviously, like some of those movies have nothing to do with social consciousness. They're just kick-ass movies like Pulp Fiction or, right, there's nothing, they're just cool and fun and unique. But a lot of the movies I've made also have some kind of social impact. And my parents in the 60s were part of the anti-war movement. At that time in the 60s, America was at war in Vietnam. And it was a terrible war. And we had, you know, thousands and tens of thousands of soldiers in Vietnam fighting a war that we should never have been in. And so there were protests. And my parents were very left-wing liberals, and they would, there are buses from all over the country that filled up with people just like my parents. My parents were school teachers of modest means, and we would get in these buses and take these, all would go down to Washington, D.C., and there were these big marches on the lawn, and they're singing anti-war songs. And so growing up, I got to be part of being in the movements of the anti-war movements, and I think that had a big impact on me without me knowing.